Mojito. Nom 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 nom. Could you imagine your neighborhood Kroger's or public supermarket holding a televised concert inside a store? This is basically Thailand's Got Talent, a dance contest for high school students. Loud, in your face, and at times unnerving.
Derek said it's stuff!
Thailand, enough already. I saw teenage daughters walking beside their mothers dressed in not enough fabric to wrap around my knees. What in the world? At least when ladies in Pattaya go to Walking Street, they're trying to escape impoverished conditions or further themselves. They got sick buffaloes and parents to care for after all. The contestants standing in the way of my trying to grab coffee and trash bags are all comfortably middle class. It's not like these girls can buy these outfits themselves. Their parents have to be doing it. And no, I didn't record any of the outfits. It's something I'd rather pretend I didn't witness, honestly. Goodness, the folks in my village raising their children in properly repressed, shame-based, patriarchal oppression. That's the world I'd rather be in right now. At least while I'm trying to check out my stuff inside my grocery cart. Thank you very much. Stop dressing your kids like you're trying to send them to the houses of ill repute.
Trash.
Now, I'm not saying that we should slap burqas on them or anything. It's just, Thailand is already a country that has issues with unrealistic beauty standards with regards to facial features and skin color. And Thailand's consumption of social media is, the last time I checked, it ranks up there with the US and other countries that are addicted to social media. Harmful signals are sent all around. Being that this video is about culture shock, I'll just say that my previous rant is based more on my annoyance at having to hear loud music and based on my personal prejudices more than being shocked by any of this. The United States is far more guilty of sending mixed messages to young girls. Heck, beauty pageants and parents who are so proud of their girls ranking in such pageants, well, that's a disturbing sign to me anyways. It's teaching them the wrong values. So I'm off topic with regards to this particular subject. The two culture shock issues that I wish to touch base on in this video are, number one, the Thai smile, which really deserves its own video, and I will make a video that's just for that. It's gonna take some time though. And also Thai driving, or what we can very liberally and loosely interpret as driving. With regards to the Thai smile, I've heard that there are dozens of Thai smiles. Indeed, there are websites and studies devoted to this topic. But for sake of brevity in this video, I'm going to keep this one simple. I love the fact that Thais smile all the time. They smile over almost everything. And you're a rare teenager, and it's becoming less rare these days, that has that kind of like pouty emo look to them. Yeah! Well, it comes off as almost a caricature or American cosplay to me, because it just doesn't fit a Thai person when they try to behave that way. So I'm not going to go into any really pedantic explanations about the Thai smile. I'm just going to break down 3 Thai smiles that are very, very common that you're going to see all the time. They are namely smiling to say that they're sorry or that they're embarrassed, smiling when they're really upset, and also just smiling in return of your smile. With regards to saying sorry or when they're embarrassed, Thais will automatically smile. I mean, it's automatic. Unfortunately, when they're saying that they're sorry to you, it can be interpreted as callous when they are smiling. For example, a colleague or someone who you know, sometimes they'll offend you, or they might do something by accident that might harm you or inconvenience you. For example, maybe they show up 2 hours late to a lunch that you have arranged with them.
Yeah!
Yes, it has happened. They're going to say that they're sorry and they're going to smile about it. This impulse that Thais have of smiling during such circumstances is really a way for them to say, I'm sorry. It's a way to diffuse the conflict. It is not them being callous or disregarding your feelings. A Westerner, especially an American, i.e. me, and yes, this has happened to me before, may interpret it as, you don't really care that this upsets me, do ya? Well, they do. But in their culture, smiling is just a way to diffuse that tension between the two of you. That's all it is. They're not trying to be callous. They are trying to not escalate the problem. And early on when I was in the kingdom, I did have instances where I was pretty upset about things, and it just made me more upset that the other person was smiling, which of course escalated the problem instead of diffused the problem, which just confused the Thai person more. The second reason why a Thai person will smile is because they are upset or scared. It's the weirdest thing. It's a way for them to let you know that they are upset or hoping for kindness and understanding in a situation. For example, back when I taught at a university, students would often come to me begging to pass class, and they were almost certainly going to fail the classes when they were in these situations. Some of these young men and women failed many times. English is a daunting subject for a lot of Thai people, especially for students who are coming from rural locations or places outside of the big city, or they're coming from regular middle-class houses. Some students will cry, obviously. Some will look downright stressed, but some will smile. And it's not a happy smile, it's a miserable, pathetic smile. It's really hard to describe when you're looking at somebody who is really upset, but they're smiling at the same time. It can feel otherworldly. And the last situation where a Thai person will smile that I'm going to talk about in this video is when you smile at them, they will automatically return the smile. I mean, almost every single time. Where if you did that to a stranger in the US, if they're a decent enough person, they're not like jaded, they're going to return your smile, but probably be very confused. A Thai person will just automatically return the smile. It's a courteous reaction, it's automatic, and it doesn't mean anything. It quite honestly is a very refreshing thing about the Thai smile and being in this country. What's not refreshing, not in the least, is driving in this country. I don't care if you're attempting to drive on Bangkok's busy roads or its busiest roads like Phetchaburi, or roads that have a lot of traffic like Silom during the night hours or Sukhumvit during the, well, various times for Sukhumvit Road. I don't care if you're trying to navigate Pattaya's various clogged and congested streets, or if you're driving somewhere out in an obscure little village far from urban areas. Driving here is just plain hazardous. The authorities liken the land of smiles to a land of regulations and rigorously adhered to laws.
That's just not accurate. It's not even close to accurate.
Don't get me wrong. If you're getting a license in this country from scratch, the written test is absolutely brutal. The questions that are in English are often befuddling due to the word salad that I believe Google Translate is doing. I'm not sure, but it's definitely not a person who knows both languages fluently that's doing this. It's a very crudely translated version of the test. I'm really appreciative that there is an English version of the test, but my goodness, some of the questions. The word salad can leave you doing a quick eeny, meeny, miny, mo to get your answer. Other questions give you the impossible Star Trek Kobayashi Maru scenarios where you have to assume that one answer is the correct one despite all infractions being wrong because it seems to be the most severe one. Maybe it's a test you're doomed to fail, and unfortunately you can't just Captain Kirk your way through it. So everyone has taken that test. Everyone has had to pass the written exam. I took mine twice, and in the test room on the second day that I took it, that second time, which thankfully I passed, it was filled with folks from the first time that I took it. Yet you would absolutely have no clue that folks went through any kind of rigor or training or preparations to get their licenses by the way they drive on the roads. Here are just a few very small examples, a mere drop in the bucket or tear in a salted sea of scenarios that I have been through myself, showing you the exact locations on the map where these incidents took place. First, U-turns are horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. U-turns are legal in the kingdom so long as a blue U-turn sign is allowing you to do it. Note, if the sign says no U-turn, this won't stop folks from using it as a U-turn anyways. So if you're coming in the opposite direction and there is a gap in the road that allows for cars to go through, even if it's not a U-turn gap, look to see if cars are trying to pull out in front of you anyways. They ignore the signs. The U-turn lane is always singular. One lane allowing one car at a time to turn in the opposite direction. But the horror, the absolute horror. The car behind you will often pull into the U-turn lane beside you while you're still trying to pull in the opposite direction. They won't wait for you to actually do it. They'll just pull up beside you, blocking your view of oncoming traffic. I was trying to pull into a parking lot, for Christ's sakes, on the other side. This guy nearly rammed into me because Thailand. I was like,
Yo!
I've had several cars do a similar move, and they weren't even in the U-turn lane behind me. They were in the through traffic lane, the middle lane that's just supposed to go forward, but they, at the last minute, I guess, decided, hey, I'm just going to make a U-turn. And mind you, most of these folks are doing it with no turn signals whatsoever. Turn signals are required by law in Thailand. I know because I took that darn test twice. Oy vey. I've had this happen on several occasions, guys, I swear. A few times, and I'm not making this up, I've had motorcycles to my left and to my right while I was trying to turn into, or while I was trying to make a U-turn, in addition to the car that's blocking my view. So even if you're making a U-turn which requires you to look to the left for oncoming traffic in Thailand because it is a left lane driving country, you still got to look to your right to make sure that there's not a motorcycle who's decided he's just going to do a U-turn while you're doing a U-turn. You see that vehicle way down there? Sorry for the low resolution. I was using my cell phone and it just happened to happen so quickly that I wanted to try to capture it just to prove it. This dude was supposed to drive to the end of the street and make a U-turn, but he felt that it was too cumbersome to do so, so he crossed the street at the intersection where he was and used the outer lane in the wrong direction as his private lane to get to where he wanted to get to so he wouldn't have to drive past it and make a U-turn. And this isn't a small distance. This was like a block and a half that he did this. What in the world?
Yo!
So driving and the Thai smile are aspects of culture shock that you will experience in various stages of culture shock. The first stage where it's the honeymoon phase, you're in love with everything. The Thai smile works its way to you towards that aspect of it because you're going to really appreciate that people are smiling at you. It's friendly, it's bubbly, it's nice. Same thing with driving. The first stage of culture shock, you're going to be like, man, this is a crazy place. Wow. But once you start getting towards the hostility phase of culture shock, Thai smiles become disingenuous feeling sometimes to you, and it can really seep into your soul, seep into your bones, and make you kind of distrusting of people. They are genuine smiles. They just happen so frequently that it's hard not to feel that way as a Westerner. Now, with regards to driving, I think you're going to experience a vapid hatred of driving all the way through every stage of culture shock, even once you've come to an acceptance and a home phase, like, yeah, this is my home, this way they drive. It's crazy. It's just crazy. These are just, I mean, it's very rudimentary and it's very kind of basic, but those things do matter when you're living in a place. Just get used to it. There is no country in the world I'd rather live in despite all these things. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you.